What is up, kinfolk? So, a couple of days ago, I asked you guys a question. Does body count matter?
It shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter, but it does.
92% of y'all say that body count matters. Now, for all you guys who aren't a part of the kinfolk family, aren't subscribed to the kinfolk channel,
what have I ever done to make you treat me so disrespectful?
go ahead and subscribe right now. If you guys are interested in ending up on one of my videos, the quickest way and the easiest way to do that is to comment on my post. I try to put up questions every week. So, let's go ahead and let's read some of the posts. From Apology Man. After a certain point, of course, also it matters how you have your body count. And the 92% was definitely indicated in the comment section just in terms of the comments that people left. From Travis, it depends on the situation and having a high body count doesn't make you a bad person. Which, to his point, 100%, I would say that having a high body count does not make you a bad person. Having sex with 100 people and not catch an STD versus having sex with just one person you trust and catch an STD should be the question. Okay, that's a fair point. You could have someone with a very low body count who gets an STD, but that's also where I would say that body count matters. I just think when it comes to having a high body count, you run the risk of having a lot more STDs. Now, granted, if you're just a one and done person and then you get with another person and that one and done gave you an STD, it's very possible, but the amount of times you go fishing, you're more than likely to go fishing and catch a fish. When it comes to body count, personally, I feel like it is a huge thing for both men and for women. For a woman with a high body count, I would even argue that a woman with a high body count might be very gullible.
This boy be in my DM say I'm pretty.
Most women don't just lay down with random men. Besides it being a one-night stand, you would have had to put in the time to have some bare minimum conversations and relationships with this person for them to even get that far. So if you have a body count of 50, for me, I would say that there's 50 dudes that you had to have talked to and had somewhat of a relationship with for them to get inside your DMs. And then also as a woman too, which I think this goes for both men and women honestly, is the baggage claim. When you have 50 plus people, you have 50 different experiences, and this is just sleeping with, because we could talk about, you can have a body count of 50, some of them you were in relationships with, some of them you were not. How those relationships ended can have a really big impact on your current relationship or your future relationships. If you have a history of being cheated on all the time, you're going to look at your current partner and be scared constantly because the last guy you were with, he did that little thing that your current boyfriend is doing. Now, it might be totally fine. He may be working late at night, but the last guy said he was working late nights too, and he was out with Becky with the good hair. I did do a video with my dad, and we had a little discussion on body count. If you'd like to check out that video, I'll go ahead and link it right here so you guys can check out his perspective. When it comes to the men aspect, this is also why I wanted my dad's perspective, because we could talk about women all day. I feel like most of the time on social media, it's always a question about body count when we're discussing and having conversations with women. But then when we talk about the reciprocal, people are like, it's different for men, and they just leave it at that. So, once again, I shouted up to my dad, as his daughter, how would he feel if I were to have a relationship with a guy with a high body count? And my dad's response was, unless he came to Jesus and had a coming to Jesus moment, I don't want him anywhere around you. You have to have some type of game, in order to get that type of access to a woman. And if you have a high body count, that means that you have a really good game. So that's number one. Number two, how do I know you're not running a game on me? Because clearly you have a history.
Game recognized game, granddad.
I even tried to, help the guys out. I was like, well, maybe, Dad, he just had like a high body count because he was just having fun, right? Everybody out here just want to have fun. You want to have your hot girl summer. And my dad's response to that was, yeah, but I can guarantee you a lot of these women who he slept with weren't just into the relationship for just having fun. The amount of women who have gone with men thinking that this was a relationship, and clearly it wasn't in his eyes and on his perspective, this was not the case. And then the last point, which was kind of harsh, as a woman, how is it you've accumulated this many bodies and no man has wanted to sit down and cherish you at this stage in your life? Or at any stage in your life. If you're in your 20s and you're just trying to have fun, okay. No guy wanted to cherish you when you're having fun and you didn't really care. Now you're in your 30s. Same exact thing. You can sleep with a whole bunch of guys, but no guy is willing to put a ring on you. Why is that? Okay, you're a dude. You want to have a whole bunch of girls. Why is it that you haven't found a woman who is willing to settle down with you, or that you say you can't find a woman who's willing to settle down with you? What is it about you? I'm the problem, it's me. And before y'all get all like your panties in a bunch and hop down in my comment section and try to prove you wrong, when you throw a rock in a group of dogs, the loudest one that yelps is the one that got hit. And we could look at the statistics. Someone brought up the biological aspect of it. When it comes to the social aspect of it, men who have been more promiscuous, it's hard for them to hold down a house because, you know, they're constantly looking for another thing. Women, same exact thing. High levels of divorce. There's the fact that you can't really bond well to your partner and that you lose that bonding agent because you've been bound to everybody else. People talk about soul ties all the time. That's technically like soul ties to the point of how you got your body count in the first place. For me, I only have a body count of 1. And at the time, I thought the person that I was with, I was going to be spending the rest of my life with. They were a temporary person, but I gave them a permanent part of myself that I can never get back. And I don't want that to be something that I constantly give away to people. So even with my relationship now, I love my boyfriend. He is amazing, and I love how he is totally okay with that, because I know there are plenty of men who would not be okay with that. But I don't know. Let me know, Kenfolk, what you think in the comment section below. How do you feel about body count? And if you guys want to end up on another one of my videos, the best way to do it is to subscribe. I post every week. And if I do a video on it, I definitely want to post some of you guys' comments from the comment section in my videos, because one of the things I love about this is the conversation. I love having debates and stuff like this in my day-to-day life, so it's really cool to just hear you guys' perspective, and I would love to feature that on my video. Because you're family, you get put in the family video, okay? But as always, Kenfolk, you know I love you, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.